articulate. But you may not know this about him, and I want to share the story with you. On December 26, 2004, one of the most destructive natural disasters happened. A tsunami hit Southern Asia. And Barry wanted to do something about this. He had a compulsion to do something about this. And he decided that he wanted to teach our children at Sunday school as well as our own children what this meant. 230,000 lives were lost that day. So he decided he was going to have a penny drop. This wasn't just a fund for money. Every single child and church member laid out those pennies side by side, row by row, and covered a 600-foot square room of pennies. And when you stood there as a child or an adult, and you noticed and recognized that every single one of those pennies represented a life that was cut short, it was profound. He found a creative, out-of-the-box way to connect children to other children, adults to other adults, a neighbor to a far-off neighbor, and a community to other communities. He can do that for Taunton. I believe he is the right choice for this because he can think out of the box like that. So it is my privilege and my honor to introduce you to the next City Councilman, Kristie Sanders.
Like Aiden, if I don't stick to the script, bad things will happen. I started off with 42 pages. I'm down there. So, hello everyone, and thanks for coming out tonight. I do have, of course, a few thank yous. Everyone who's ever run for office knows that this is a family affair. So, of course, my biggest thank yous are to my wonderful wife. I can't even begin to tell you how wonderful she is and how much I love her. My mother, Jeanette, who continues to inspire and support me, and my kids, Matt, who is here tonight, and Jen. I'm so proud of the kind and wonderful people that they have become. I'm also grateful to have my brother Ryan and my sister-in-law Laura here tonight. They're both dedicated and talented nurses and served our country in uniform. And also my in-laws, Tom and Betsy Downey. Tom was the fire chief in Taunton for many years, and if you know anything about public service, you know that also meant that Betsy was the fire chief for many years. I'm so excited to have such a great campaign team, Kristie, Matt, and my daughter Jen, as well as Maria Prado, our treasurer, who is probably out at the table where she belongs. And also Janet Anderson, Kelly Cardoza, Carol Doherty, Susan Griffin, John and Laura Hoey, Lisa Scully, and Joe Totino. I can't do this without a great team. As is the custom here in Taunton, I'd like to recognize the other candidates and elected officials who are here tonight. I know that there are more than I have signed in, so I'm going to have to wander around the room. Jody Fiore is a member of the school committee and the planning board. He's here tonight. Where are you, Jody? Scott Martin is a candidate for city council. He was David Pottier is the current city council. Dr. Jerry Croto is Gene Quinn, also from the city council. I missed somebody. If you didn't sign, that's why I missed you. No, all right. Moving right along. come from the leadership at City Hall. Taunton is a great place to live and work in large part due to the wonderful people who volunteer their time every day to help their neighbors. And I'd like to take a minute now to recognize some of the folks in our community who do that good work. David Keiko is Friends of the Attleboro Animal Shelter and First Parish Church. David, are you still here? Nancy Average, President of the TEA. Paula Malo, who works at Paws Pantry in the Matthew Mission. Ida Tomei, who works with Special Olympics and volunteers for TEMA. Riley Morgan, who's the director of Paws Pantry. John Colbert, who works in Haiti for the Build Health International, right, John? James Dufresne from 350 Mass, South Coast. Terry Silva, also from the Matthew Mission. Lisa Scully, Aiden's mom, they just started off, just got a musical event tonight. She works for Curiosity Factory. Cindy Brogan, also with the Matthew Mission. Mary Vaney, who volunteers with so many things that she didn't even have room to write them all down. I'm going to apologize for not getting my reading glasses on. For the animal shelter, who's volunteered with the animal shelter? Who signed it? Oh, hi, how are you? And, sorry? Yes, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to say, Virginia Plass. And my good friends, Lori and Dave Gonzalez for Chloe's friends. So I think I speak for everyone in Taunton when I say thank you to all of you for the hard work that you put in volunteering in our community. I remember when I was a middle school student, about Aiden's age, there was a class of students in my school and they were all deaf. A teacher asked me if I would work with a couple of the students on their math. See, back then, the most important thing for deaf kids to learn was how to read lips and to speak as well as possible, so they often didn't get a lot of math instruction. I said I would help out, and for the rest of the year I helped with their multiplication, and they taught me some American Sign Language. More importantly, we became friends, and I'll never forget how excited we all were every time one of us learned something new. This was the beginning of something important for me, this early experience of being a helper, working with someone to help overcome obstacles and reach for something better. That was about 40 years ago. And here I am now with a master's degree in social work and almost 30 years of working with children, families, adults, and communities, overcoming obstacles and reaching for something better. Coaching youth sports, co-hosting the Silver City Meeting House radio program, working with children and youth at First Parish, visiting overdose survivors with the Taunton Opiate and Substance Use Task Force, facilitating Learn to Cope meetings, attending the Taunton Nursing Home board meetings, and starting a new nonprofit to help with the care of the residents. I meet and I get to work with some really great people all the time. I've helped people who inspire me with their strength and their resilience. I got a Facebook message the other day. This guy's messaged me now twice. When I last saw him, he was a 14-year-old kid with a really tough life. And I worked with him. And really done some remarkable things with his life now. He has a family, and he has a great job, and every once in a while he just feels the need to send me a message to say, thanks for being there when I needed you. He's doing great, and I'm really glad for that. I've worked with really committed, caring people. Folks that you heard speak tonight. Carol Dory, whose lifelong commitment to education is such an asset to our community. The Reverend Christina Willie McKnight, who helped our struggling church find new life and become a beacon of hope and compassion for so many. Can't miss this opportunity as well to mention Taunton Police Officer Steve Turner, who has taken a leadership role in our overdose outreach. He's just fantastic. It's a real blessing for us to have him in our community. Of course, my wife Kristie, who is a dedicated educator in her own right and worked to bring Learn to Cope here to Taunton. And of course, youth like Nathan Scully, whose energy, optimism, and kind hearts inspire me to want to lead them the world they deserve. Earlier this week, I attended the City Master Plan Community Visioning Workshop. We had an opportunity to imagine what Taunton would be like in 20 years. We talked about preserving Taunton's history, creating a strong economy with good-paying jobs, vibrant commercial areas throughout the city, quality housing options for everyone, entertainment and cultural events for our residents and our visitors, natural spaces for recreation, and so much more. At the beginning of the workshop, Mayor Hoy spoke briefly. In his remarks, he said that we have been reactive for too long. He said it was time to start looking to Taunton's future. And he's right, of course. For too long, we've been hearing about long overdue projects and problems that we've been staring at for decades. Our historic city hall has been vacant for almost 7 years. And who can remember a time when we didn't wonder what we were going to do with the landfill and the nursing home? If you own a home, you know if you have a leak in your roof, you can patch it for a while, but you're going to need a new roof. And a new kitchen will add tremendous value to your home, but nobody wants to buy a house with a leaky roof. You can't do anything more than dream about that new kitchen until the roof gets fixed. I'm not here to criticize our current city council. I know them all. They're all decent people. And they've used their talents to bring us this far. There are many great things about our city, and they deserve a lot of credit for the work that they do. And yet, we have an election, and we have choices to make. Each time the Patriots win the Super Bowl, they still go out and look for talent. They cut some players, they keep some players, they bring in some draft picks, and they add a few veterans as well. Now, I'm not one of those unproven, fresh-faced draft picks. I'm the veteran free agent, an experienced, impact player able to contribute on day one. You know what I can do because we've worked together. I've been trained and I've been tested, and I have a set of skills that I think would make a real difference on the Taunton City Council. I have a deep and broad understanding of many of the issues our community is facing: violence, poverty, addiction, mental illness. And this is unlike any other candidate currently running for office. For almost 30 years, I've worked with children, adults, and communities who are facing these difficult problems. They also have big dreams. In order to overcome their difficulties and reach their goals, I've worked together with them to understand their problems, bring people together to develop a detailed plan, put those plans into action, and stick with it until the work is done. Thank you so much for being here. There are only 151 days until the election. Only 151 days. And we have a lot of work to do. In 2015, we earned 2,011 votes. We'll need to earn every one of those back then, and then some. If you haven't already, please sign up to volunteer. I will need your help to pull this off. Let's work together to build a dynamic and vibrant economy that attracts visitors and good-paying jobs. Let's work together to ensure that our seniors, whether they live in their own homes or in a nursing home, are safe, healthy, and comfortable. Let's work together to bring hope and recovery to people suffering from substance use disorder and their families. Let's work together to protect our natural spaces and our environment with clean energy solutions. Let's work together to support our public safety and city employees with the support, training, and resources they need to meet our high expectations. Let's work together to move past old rivalries and partisan politics, to build the community we need and that our children and grandchildren deserve. With your help, we will win in November. And as one of your next city councilors, I pledge to you that I will work for you and I will work with you to move our city forward, past our old problems, and on to new possibilities. Thank you so much for coming. So I have kind of a nuts and bolts announcement today. Massachusetts Office of Campaign and Political Finance has very strict rules about campaign fundraising. Those rules prevent me from asking for or accepting campaign contributions, which is a huge problem for me. However, I'm going to introduce you to someone who is allowed to talk about campaign financing. That would be my amazing son, Matthew Sanders.